Tyrone Bowman tonight. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott has decided to grant a full unconditional pardon to a racist murderer of a Black Lives protester. I found a video from Roland Martin Unfiltered. It's entitled Texas Gov Pardons Racist Murderer of BLM Protester. Listen to this and check it out.
Of murdering somebody in 2020, 4 years. 4 years later, now Perry faced between 5 and 99 years in prison for fatally shooting 28-year-old Air Force veteran Garrett Foster at an Austin, Texas racial justice rally 2 months after the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. A judge sentenced Perry to 25 years in prison last year. 25 years. Last year. But here's Greg Abbott now deciding, oh no, go ahead and release him and give him his gun back. Now, this here is a tweet that was posted by Joaquin Castro, who is also a member of Congress. Y'all love this. You're going to love this here. Before Daniel Perry murdered a veteran, he told a friend, I might go to Dallas to shoot looters. A year before, too bad we can't get paid for hunting Muslims. Jelana Jones, state representative in Texas out of Houston, joins us right now. Representative Jones, this is Greg Abbott. Now remember, Tucker Carlson demanded on Fox News that Greg Abbott pardon this racist Daniel Perry. And that's exactly what Abbott did. And the Board of Pardons, the reason it was unanimous, because Perry made it clear he wanted it done.
Well, Roland, I will say this. The reason that they did that is because he appoints the people to the Board of Pardons and Paroles, which is why who the governor is matters, and they follow his orders on anything all the time, and that's what's expected of them. But what we're not talking about is a man who Daniel Perry murdered. He murdered Perry. He murdered Garrett Foster, who was a military veteran, who had a license to carry, and the truth is that Daniel drove his car into protesters 2 months after the George Floyd murder and the rallies, and what could have hurt other people. And this other guy had a weapon, which he had a license to carry. He's a military veteran as well. And so, and again, as you mentioned, he tweeted all the time about how he hated Black people, about how he hated Muslims, and then he argued self-defense. Now, in my day job, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. When you can't create a situation where you drive into a crowd of people who are lawfully protesting and then say you felt threatened, because he could have killed people. So I put out a statement today because I was so angry, and you should know, I'm literally sitting in the Austin International Airport somewhere where I could find some quiet in the Barbara Jordan Airport. I literally just passed Governor Perry's mansion, and it's going to be like open season on Black people, and it's going to be open season on people who support Black people, because the governor just said it's lawful and I will pardon you, and I'm terrified.
In fact, Jelana, this right here is the proclamation that he issued. He actually said the Texas Board of Pardon and Parole has conducted an exhaustive review of Daniel Scott Perry's personal history and the facts surrounding his shooting of Garrett Foster. And whereas both the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution and Article 1, Section 23 of the Texas Constitution protects the right to keep and bear arms for, among other things, self-defense, and whereas Texas law, consistent with those constitutional guarantees, provides one of the clearest self-defense protections in the United States, blah, 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 blah. He goes, Daniel Scott Perry.
If you're 55 or over, did you know you could leave your loved ones with an inheritance of up to $300?
While driving on a public road in Austin, slowed his vehicle as he rounded the corner onto Congress Avenue and encountered a group of protesters obstructing traffic, and Daniel Scott Perry's car was immediately surrounded by aggressive protesters who rushed to obstruct, strike, pound, smash, and kick his vehicle. And Garrett Foster then approached within 18 inches of Daniel Scott Perry's car, confronted him, and brandished a Kalashnikov-style rifle in the low-ready firing position. Daniel Scott Perry fired his handgun at Garrett Foster to eliminate a perceived threat. Now, he goes on and on and on, talking about, here's the whole deal. This is what got me. They completed an exhaustive review of his personal history. His writings are clear. He's an absolute racist. He actually texts somebody that, I'll pull up in a second, that what he wanted to do was shoot protesters. He wanted to shoot, let me see if I want to find it, give me a second, where he actually said he desired to, he had texted a friend, I will only shoot the protesters in front and push the pedal to the metal. This man is a murderer, and Texas Governor Greg Abbott today allowed a racist murderer to be free and gave him the right to get his guns back.
It's worse than a racist. He's anti-black. He's anti-black. And the jury vetted his self-defense claim. The jury listened to all the witnesses. The jury listens to all the testimony, and they threw that out. As I said before, in my day job, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. You do not get to claim self-defense when you create a situation that you perceive danger.
Tyrone Bowman tonight continues in a moment. I'm going to put that guy on tonight myself. Okay. No, I want him having no excuse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I had to take a quick break
You
here.
drive into protesters. He drove into protesters. The car wasn't surrounded by him. He created them being around him. So I'm terrified as a black woman, as a mother of a black son, who's actually a man now. It terrifies me because if someone doesn't like the way my son looks, they could have texted friends, they could have posted things, and if he convinces people who are like-minded like him, i.e. Governor Abbott and the Board of Pardons and Paroles, then they are putting themselves in the mind of that person, and it's terrifying. And it's very hard for me as a black person in the legislature. We are under attack all the time. And the worst thing you can do to somebody is kill them. The biggest freedom you can take away from them is their life. But they believed that his right to carry a freaking gun was more important than the life that he took. That's what it's like to be in Texas. If I were black, I wouldn't live in Texas. I wouldn't live in Texas. And I'm fighting this day in and day out in the legislature. And I'm just heartbroken. I'm actually heartbroken. It's laughing in the face of the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system finally worked for us, which is very rare. And you take that from his family, you take that from black people who are fighting so hard, and our allies who are fighting so hard to show people that we deserve the rights just like everyone else. And Garrett Foster had a right to protest peacefully, and he was.
And in fact, wait a minute, and here's the deal. This is also why Greg Abbott is trash. This is what Perry said to the investigator. Quote, I believe he was going to aim at me. I didn't want to give him a chance to aim at me. The gun, so Abbott is lying in his pardon. Foster never aimed at him.
He did not.
He killed him saying, I thought he was going to aim at me, so therefore I killed him first.
Right. But again, a jury listened to the testimony, they listened to the evidence, and they denied the self-defense, and they convicted him of murder. Now, the jury didn't convict him of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which I think they should have. But this is just wrong. And in Texas, it's a wild, wild west. It is open season on us, and I'm terrified for Black people generally and Black men specifically.
Well, and this is what you see when Republicans like Ron DeSantis pass bills saying, yeah, it's okay, y'all can run over protesters. That's the whole deal. They despise Black Lives Matter protesters, and so Greg Abbott, again, is standing with a racist man who hates Black people, who hates Muslims, and for the Republican Party, that's called a trifecta, and that's how he got a pardon.
We'll buy your house for cash, no matter the condition. Stick with a property that feels more like a...
Representative Jones.
And I'm going to leave it right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep you updated on as many newsworthy things that I can find, and I will take the time to research it for you, and I'll make sure I give credit to you. If you give me the article, give me the links, I'll do the research, I'll do the studying, and I'll bring it before the cameras, and I'll let it happen. One thing about Tyrone Bowman tonight, we cover everything: news, information, entertainment. This channel right here is for everybody. It's for all people. This is a channel for justice and for truth. So until next time, I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never quit.